Hello and welcome to this episode of Tuning Tips by CS Tuners. Today's guest is Jan Young from the Success League.
Oh, it's great to be here. I'm so glad to be able to chat with you some more about segmentation, Andreas.
Yes, indeed. The Customer Success Performance Index benchmark revealed again how champion companies achieve 28% higher NRR with outcome-centric segmentation. Jan, why is this so different and important at the same time?
I think first, just looking back at what do companies traditionally do, and primarily what you see is that companies are just looking at their own needs, and then looking at ARR, and maybe they'll throw in brand in there because there's potential, even if it's like there's a particular big brand that isn't doing much with them right now, there's potential for it, and then they stop, they're done. But really what that is the prioritization within your own company of who you need to focus on, which is legitimate, but it's only one part of the picture. And when you take a look at outcomes, or really, I think Paul Henderson would probably say there's only one outcome that your company should be focused on, right? Even still, you might have more than one segment. And I think that's because when you look at what the outcome is for that customer, that customer experience, that customer journey, what is the behavior that your customers are exhibiting if they're successful or if they're at risk, right? Because I think really segmentation is the foundation of customer journey. So it's hard for me to speak about it without the other, frankly. Because when you think about those outcomes, you're thinking about that customer journey that leads to the outcome. And the reason why you have segmentation is because you don't treat all of your customers the same. And it's more than just, oh, this customer has really high ARR with us, so we're going to really focus on them. We'll throw 3 CSMs at them if we want, or something like that. Like that's high touch, sort of thing. I think what you want to think about is what is that customer experience with your product and with your company? What is it from their perspective? And is there something about that behavior with your product in your customer journey that is unique from one group to another? And it can be aligned by, say, industry verticals. It could be that if you're working with, fintech and media and all these different groups, that maybe they're interacting with your product and with your company in vastly different ways. So then you would have a different customer journey associated with that. If you want to have a different customer journey, then you're going to have different segments. But maybe it's not that. There's a company that works with a variety of different small businesses, landscapers and salons and stuff, and they seem very different, but they're all using the product in the same way. So those aren't different segments if they're using your product in the same way. And if you think about then, it could also be the complexity of the customer. It could be something like, it could be like how familiar are they with technology? If you think about like medical offices, veterinary offices, things like that, there's many of those offices, if you're working with them, that are still on paper and pen. And so like they have no experience with technology. They would have a different journey than someone, a particular like clinic, let's say, that is using technology all the time, right? And you're going to work with them differently. You're going to sell things to them at different points in time. There is a different customer journey. So think about what makes it unique in terms of what their behaviors are, how they're experiencing your product, how you're communicating to them. That should be, those kinds of questions will lead you to understanding what sort of segments you want to come up with. And then, yes, you want cross-reference it with your ARR and see how many of those folks you're going to be working directly with through a CSM, or how many of those folks you're going to be, really trying to digitize more of that experience. And frankly, everyone is going to have a digital experience to some degree today, because you want on-demand videos that are convenient at your time and things like that. But regardless of all of that, really, that's what's going to lead to a segmentation that serves you and your customers well. And then from there, that's the foundation for that customer journey that then leads to outcomes. And that's really the whole point of it for me. Like that is the foundation of your customer success program. and going through those questions leading to those answers is how you then best serve your customers.
Thank you so much for your insights, Jan. If you would like to benchmark yourself and receive a personalized performance report, go to customersuccessperformanceindex.com and check your performance score and get your personalized tuning tips. Until the next episode, I say goodbye.